And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show, and in a game painfully indicative of their current place in the universe, the Rangers played the team at the bottom of the standings and bottomed out. Shut out by the Nashville Predators, 2-0 in Tennessee. Inside our Delta MSG studios, John Giannone, Henrik Lundqvist, and Steve Valiquette. Now, where do you go from here, right? I mean, every single time the Rangers come up short in a game, you wonder how they're going to respond. This one bears even more scrutiny because it was, again, against the team that had the fewest points and the fewest wins in the league, Hank.
Yeah, to me, it looked like two teams that are searching for more confidence. The execution wasn't really there. It was hard to put 2 or 3 passes together. It was a scramble, even though they had a good start. But honestly, yeah, the search continues here for the Rangers. And I keep saying this, you need to recreate that confidence. It's tough to do in sports, but I think that's the biggest thing. If they regain more confidence and energy, I think the execution will be better. When they're rolling, when they're playing well, you see passes tape to tape that create more speed to their game, that forces other teams to take more penalties. But again, it was hard for them to put 2 or 3 passes together in a row, and that's why it was hard for them to create really big opportunities.
Neither team could make a play. You know, that's one of the games that I've seen where I don't think either team could have carried the puck through the neutral zone had they had it in a bucket. That was a dog's breakfast, is what that game was. And you know, you can laugh, but it's, you know what I mean. We've seen how many games together, John? That's got to be one of the worst hockey games we've ever seen.
Both sides.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Both sides. Mm-hmm. I don't think either team. I know Nashville's happier they won, but nobody's feeling better there either.
Right. I mean, they did some good things in the game, blocked a whole bunch of shots, got a shutout for their goaltender, Juuse Saros, who has certainly played way better than his record has been this year. But in the end, a 2-0 loss for the Rangers. Their best opportunity to score was on a shorthanded breakaway by Vincent Trocheck, who played nearly 21 minutes in the game, but it was a save from Juuse Saros that kept it as 2-0. Let's hear from Vincent Trocheck. We begin the reaction inside the Rangers dressing room.
I don't think it was a lack of effort today. We just had tons of chances and didn't bury on our chances.
Where do you feel like the disconnect is in that regard?
What do you mean?
Like, just in the offense in general, what is preventing you from putting the puck in the back of the net?
Nothing. Nothing's preventing us. We're just not doing it. We gotta capitalize on our chances. It's simple as that.
The power play hasn't been clicking too much the last 2 games. Well, you didn't get one against St. Louis, but like what, I guess specifically about the power play isn't clicking?
I thought it was clicking tonight.
Yeah.
It just didn't go in the net. We got to capitalize on our chances.
Since with Mara being out, the line is changing a lot recently. Is that maybe adding to some of like the sputtering offensively right now, you think?
I mean, like I said, I thought we got a lot of chances tonight. We just didn't capitalize on our chances. But anytime you're missing your top point producer, that doesn't help. But we can't look at that as an excuse. We had, like I said, tons of chances.
Were you okay with the third period? I think it was only 7 shots. Like, did you feel like there was enough push there?
I think there was a lot of push. A lot of ozone time, maybe not as many shots. But sometimes that doesn't tell the whole story. Yeah, I don't know. We created a lot of chances.
Lots of responses from Vincent Trocheck, but no real answers. And I don't think there are answers right now. As he said, there really isn't anything else to say except we didn't bury our opportunities. They had 71 shot attempts in the game. 28 of them were blocked by Nashville, but there were a bunch that missed the net and a bunch that you get the feeling they believe should have scored.
Pregnant pause. Mm-hmm. They're frustrated and they're tight. And they're not creating nearly enough to execute on. A lot of it was scrambles off of scrambles. Miscues on Nashville's side that gave opportunity, that then went the other way with miscues on the Rangers side that gave Nashville opportunity. Nobody was making plays through the neutral zone and nobody was getting it in and possession. They had a couple of chances, but I wouldn't say that anything was produced. Fair?
Fair. I think it's fair. But John, you're talking about, you know, they're trying to stay confident. They did create opportunity to shoot a lot. Another good thing right now, they didn't give up too many high danger opportunities. We talked about Igor's game, coming off of his last start where he got pulled. It was nice for him to have a solid performance. Not too many east-west, not too many breakdowns. He saw some shots, yes, but not too many big breakdowns. So that's one positive I take out of this game, that he felt good, and that's going to help them in the next start.
Well, you know what I'd be nervous about is that's a good goalie they faced tonight. They've faced for the last 14, 15 games backups at number 3s. Mm-hmm. And guess what? You got, Jake Ottinger next? Yeah. You're going to have Markstrom. You're going to have goalies coming up here. Florida and Tampa Bay after the break with Bobrovsky and Vasilevsky. So we're going to see a different challenge here for this team now. Yeah. They've had a really soft schedule and very easy opponents in net for the last 6-7 weeks. Yeah, 11 of the next 12 opponents for the Rangers are current playoff teams. Rangers have only 2 wins this year against current playoff teams. Chris Kreider skated more than any other Rangers forward, more than 21 minutes, 2 shots on goal, 3 total attempts. Here's Chris Kreider's reaction to the 2-0 loss.
You got to find ways to score goals. They did a good job on the kill. We had a few looks. They were obviously blocking a lot, but getting in lanes, but we knew that going in, so needed to be more bad angle shots. Stuff that's thrown into the mud and jumping on the loose stuff. There were moments of it. Did a better job of playing north, playing quickly, establishing some zone time, but talk about a few very important things. One of them's getting pucks and bodies to zone 1 and just didn't do it enough.
Do you recall a period where you just had a more frustrating stretch than this?
I think the most important thing is to take it one game at a time. Win one game. Take some of the things that we did better, that we did well, learn from mistakes, and build. So we keep talking about it, we're going to stay in it. We're not the team we were yesterday. We're not the team that we were 2 days ago. We've got an opportunity to win the next game. So take what we can from this game, move on, win the next game.
Vincent was talking about how on the power play he felt it was clicking okay, it just the finishing just wasn't there. How do you evaluate the power play, and I guess what do you guys need to do to get it to where it needs to be?
I see Foxy with a good shot through a screen, and he stabs it with his blocker. I see a shot that barely misses blocker side. I see Troch shooting. When I get a pretty good tip on it right into my own glove. See a backdoor tap in that jumps up into my own skate and off my blocker and explodes out the other side. So that's a very good penalty kill. And chances we got to have 4 or 5 really pretty good looks. That's good. We were working hard, relieving pressure. Just the way it goes, unfortunately.
Chris Kreider's not wrong in that regard. Puck luck was not on the Rangers side either, but it rarely is when you've lost 11 out of 14. But again, remember, the opponent tonight had lost 9 out of 10, so there was probably an equal level of desperation from the Predators. Something he said that jumped out at me, if we keep talking about it, we're going to stay in it. Are you a believer in that?
Absolutely. And that's why, obviously, it's hard when you constantly get questions about what's not working. As a player, obviously, you want to focus on the things that are working. So that's you leave all the things you have to talk about in the locker room, all the negatives. You try to leave it in the locker room now when you jump on the bus and you go start thinking about the next one, right? But obviously, when you're in a slump like this, there's so many questions about what's not working. But he touched on it on the power play. They had a lot of good looks. They're just not getting the puck luck right now. We saw that tip on the side. We see Kreider do so many of them. Mm-hmm. And tonight, it did not work. And it was a 1-goal game for the most part, right? So a play like that could have changed so much in the energy and the confidence in the game.
I think that they could just shift their thought process a little more to possession down low, wear them down, get your chances on the back end of a good shift, and start stacking shifts rather than getting out there and looking for a chance right away. If you get too excitable early in a shift, it could be a one and done. And we didn't see really any extended time that didn't lead to more power play time. They could have grinded a little harder down low to create a little bit more. I don't know if I saw enough possession time.
And that's been a common theme. Too many one-and-dones for the Rangers in this streak. 11 losses out of 14, all in regulation time.